Dear friends, I'd like to share with you a true story about Dr. A.J. Cronin. Dr. Cronin was a very famous doctor, a Christian doctor in England. One night, he assigned a young nurse to a little boy who was suffering from diphtheria. It was the nurse's duty to clean out the boy's breathing tube. But she accidentally dozed off, and when she woke up, the breathing tube was blocked completely. Instead of following the instructions, she panicked and called the doctor from home. By the time the doctor arrived, the boy was dead. Now, the doctor was angry beyond any expression. That night, he went to his office and wrote the board requesting this immediate expulsion of this nurse. When doctor read this letter to the nurse, she nearly fainted with remorse. He said in a harsh voice, "Have you nothing to say for yourself?" There was silence. Then she prayed, saying, "Please give me another chance." Doctor sent her away, but he could not sleep that night. So the next morning, he went to his office, tore up the report. In the years that followed, Dr. Cronin watched this young, nervous nurse become the head of a very large hospital, and she was honored as one of the great nurses in England. Thank God for giving her a second chance. Jesus died on the cross to make that possible for us as well. The gospel for this weekend continues to offer lessons about God's mercy and forgiveness. Last Sunday, we heard the parable of the prodigal son. Today, we don't have a parable, but the report from St. John's Gospel of an encounter among Jesus, the Pharisees, the scribes, and the woman caught in adultery. We can see the conflict brewing between Jesus and the Pharisees as they were making plans to arrest him. In the chapter preceding today's gospel passage, Jesus was teaching in the temple area. Feeling threatened by his teaching and his miracles, the chief priests and the Pharisees are sending guards to arrest Jesus. The guards, however, returned without arresting the Lord because they were so impressed by his powerful words. Even more so, some of the crowd were considering the possibility that Jesus is truly the promised Messiah. The chief priests and the Pharisees now change their plan to arrest him. Instead, they seek to gather more evidence by posing a question intended to trap Jesus. As Jesus was teaching the crowds in the temple area, they approached Jesus, bringing the accused woman. The Pharisees stated very clearly that according to the Mosaic law, those caught in such cases should be stoned to death, as it is mentioned in Deuteronomy chapter 22. But under Roman occupation, the Jewish people did not have the authority to execute anyone. To answer the Pharisees' question, Jesus must propose an action or give a solution that will be either contrary to the Roman law or to the Mosaic law. Whatever be Jesus' answer, it will support Pharisees' case against him. But Jesus avoids their trap by offering an answer that was not anticipated by those accusers. Jesus bent down and start writing on the ground. After writing on the ground with his finger, Jesus addresses the crowd and suggests that anyone without sin must be the first to cast the stone. And we can imagine the scene as the Pharisees and the elders leave one by one. Jesus was successful in eluding their trap they had very cleverly prepared for him. Now, left alone with this woman, Jesus asks where her accusers have gone. With no one remaining to condemn her, Jesus sends the woman on her way, refusing to pass any judgment and exhorting her to avoid future sin. Jesus' response shows the power of forgiveness that is very transformative in one's life. Dear friends, everybody deserves justice as per the legal system, but nobody deserves mercy because it is a sheer gift from God. Mercy cancels out our wrongs and transgressions, not because there is a strong defense on our part, but because there is a free response of the person who is wronged. Mercy doesn't suggest that the guilty is not really guilty, but it doesn't demand restitution for the wrongs done. So, redeemed by Jesus' mercy, we are all sent to live in God's peace and love. I'd like to close with a short quote that is attributed to Leo Tolstoy, the famous Russian writer. He says, "There is nothing more important in life than having compassion for fellow human beings."